Hello, welcome. Thank you everybody for attending today. This is really exciting. I'm going to kick it off today with my friend here, Matt Dallas. Here we go, Matt D. Here we go. We're kicking it off for connecting developer communities between Aerospike and Unity Technologies. Really excited to have Matt here with me today. Really appreciate the opportunity to share with the audience today about our developer relations initiatives. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, we're going to do a quick agenda brief here today. We'll walk through a little bit of introductions just so you get to know who we are and what we do. Talk a little bit about the Unity ads with Aerospike, how we're partnering on things. The future of real-time gaming. What are Matt's predictions? I would love to hear this. And then connecting our developer communities and the importance of that today. So with that, I can give you a little spiel about me. I started about 6 months ago here at Aerospike. It's been quite exciting, quite busy, and we have an awesome DevRel team. I have great partners, and we're really excited to start this initiative up and really charge it through at Aerospike. I've been in the technology, software, hardware industry for 30 plus years in a variety of different spaces, in a variety of different roles, but DevRel is, my home and my heart. And I've been in this space for over 8 years now. I've served on a couple of boards. There's a developer relations survey coming out soon and a couple of other type of surveys because I'm really partnering with the developer relations community and dev advocates such as Matt. So strong advocate for the developers worldwide. And that's a little bit about me. Matt, want to take it away?
Yes. Hello, everybody. My name is Matt Dondelinger. I'm a developer advocate here at Unity. I spent the past 15 years in the video game industry, primarily as a monetization designer. I worked BioWare, Bethesda on games like Star Wars The Old Republic, Fallout 76. And then I was approached by Unity about 2 years ago to come on as developer advocate to not only talk about the great things that Unity is doing, but also talk monetization and player engagement solutions and also just developer theory since I have experience with it. And so as a developer advocate, similar to Stacy, I am basically a go-between users and the company. So I show off the new stuff that Unity has, particularly in monetization player engagement side, and then get feedback from the users. And part of why I'm here today is interacting with some of other developer advocates and trying to get engaged with our users best we can.
Thanks so much, Matt. I'd like to go into a little bit about the relationship between Aerospike and Unity. I think it's been a really kind of unique space for you and I to leverage and communicate on. I just wanted to talk a little bit about Aerospike and how we're enabling the game developers and monetizing their entire player base via the ads that are native to Unity-based ads. I know it's a smooth integration. We've talked about this before, and Unity ads allow the game developers to target players that are more likely to be interested in maybe trying a particular game or they're showing a certain behavior. It also allows the game developers to increase their LTV or lifetime value of their player base. Today, Unity is utilizing Aerospike for all this on top of player stats, user stats, and those type of analytics. Matt, can you provide some insight into this, into the monetization area of your expertise and the needs of your audience, and maybe have us understand your audience a little bit better and their needs?
Yeah, for us, and as for Unity, especially with monetization, a big thing is we have to sort of cater to a large range of users. People from students all the way up to AAA developers use Unity. And so we really try to provide the help to allow the creators to be successful. And specifically with Aerospike and Unity, having the data of the players is really important, especially for something like ads and monetization. As Stacy was talking about, you would like to show ads that will engage with your users. And by having the knowledge of, we have these types of users. We have users who are interested in this, or users who live in this region, or who want to see these types of ads or content. It makes your ads more successful, and it just makes your whole team successful. You don't want to waste time and resources or be showing incorrect ads or ads that don't really hit with the players, because then you drive them away. And with so much competition now, you have to make sure that whatever you're putting in front of the players is your best foot forward. You want to make sure that whether it's content or ads or monetization, it's the best thing. And having this sort of data on your players of what they're doing, what they play, what they don't play is really, really helpful to that.
So having that data and understanding the players' behaviors and their personas a little bit better, you're basically enabling them as developers to kind of make a real business out of it, right? Because your personas are different. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
When you're going into it as a business for video games, you have to really be sort of surgical with your resources and what you're doing. So you need to make sure that you're not wasting resources, you're getting the best return on your investment when you use them. And so that's a big thing. So an example is if your game is an RPG and you have only RPG players in your player base, you don't want to be showing them content for other types of games that don't really fit in that. So, we have an RPG game and then an ad pops up for a fighting game or a puzzle game. It may not necessarily work, and players will sort of be confused, and it won't necessarily cripple your player base, but it can be one of those things that might drive them away or might stop them from playing. And again, especially in like the mobile and the indie game market, it's so competitive that little things like showing not inappropriate ads, but just incorrect ads can really hurt your game's longevity and the ability to turn it into a successful business.
Understanding that, understanding the analytics, understanding the need for that real-time data, basically having that super fast, that information, it's going to basically help change how you help players make their informed decisions and how they build.
And it'll also help your team adjust quickly, because with your game, having a live game like most mobile games are, you need to sort of be adapting very quickly. And by having the data, not only having the data, but having it quickly, your development team can also adjust on the fly as thing happens, whether it's crashes or gameplay issues or issues with like monetization and ads and things like that. The more data you can have and the quicker you can get it, the better. And that's what Aerospike and Unity have been able to do and offer to our users.
And that's an awesome thing for us to emphasize with our developer communities. So really excited to explore that more with you moving forward. I wanted to go into, I know we just had the magician and he was giving us potentially magic. Maybe you can give us kind of your viewpoint and the future of gaming and real-time data, how that's working together and the benefits of that.
In my experience with both in the game industry and being sort of games adjacent, as I call myself at Unity, really what's happening now is live games are sort of becoming the staple, all types of games. So by a live game, I mean something that's always online, and you're sort of wanting your users to constantly be engaged with it. And that is becoming the most popular form of gaming, and it's becoming sort of something that developers are going to have to deal with and have to leverage. With all this data and with all these players being on and having all this competition, developers now are going to be more focused on delivering exactly what a player wants and sort of using the data to identify the players of, okay, we have players who only want to play endgame content. We have players who just want to build things in the world, or we have players who want to do PvP content. By seeing that and breaking it down, more and more developers are going to be able to identify that and give them exactly what they want. Like, okay, we have certain, whether it's content or cosmetic items, or if it's mobile ads or any ads in a game, we'll drive them to the correct player base group to sort of, again, maximize your resources and maximize your return on investment. That's really where the future of gaming is going, is just that you're going to have to be sort of actively monitoring everything. It's no longer the days of, we made a game, we launched it, we can just step away and wait till the expansion. Now it's, okay, we launched our game, now we have to sort of get on this never-ending treadmill of, okay, is everything working? Looking at analytics, looking at the data we're receiving, then, okay, what's our monetization plan? What's our live ops plan? Is everything running? It's sort of where the future of gaming is taking us.
Right. And it can help you also, I know we talked about it, predict like regionally, worldwide. You might be delivering different data versus, country to country or region to region, right?
That's another thing too, is you're learning that different players from different regions have different expectations and things they are interested in. An example is sort of the idea of selling power that a lot of people talk about. Here in North America, that tends to be frowned upon. Oh, we don't sell power. A lot of Asian players, though, don't have the same problem with that. And again, with you having the sort of like data and the sort of real-time, the live game model of being able to do things specifically to a specific group, you can deliver on those if you want to. If you want to go that route, you can be like, okay, we have a player base here who wants us to sell these certain things. We can sell it to them while keeping a different player base separate. So I think that's a big thing. Again, that's a big benefit of sort of this data that you can have of being able to know like where your players are, what they're doing, and what they want.
Yeah, targeted releases too. So important. And on the fraud side, sort of like the fraud detection, the need to be able to see when a game is not working. Hate to say breaking, but when it's not working, and then maybe there's challenges with your monetization, being able to have that real-time data, it can tell you some of that.
That's a good thing. An example would be if you're checking your monetization data and you see that an item that normally has had very little activity all of a sudden has a huge spike in activity that lasts for a short period of time. That could be a warning sign that possibly it's fraud or possibly something's broken. Again, this would be a scenario where it's like, hey, I see that, I know something's wrong. I can either try to fix it or at least pay attention to it so that if it happens in the future, I can see what's going on. And it's sort of, with all this data, you want to make it sort of a ritual of checking it, not just once a month or once every few months, but like daily. At my previous studios that I worked at, that was sort of the thing of, okay, we check it in the morning, we check it every week, we check it every month, and just have constantly looking at your data to see how the game and how the player base is going.
And so Aerospike is helping in that need, being able to be super fast, real time. Awesome. I'm really interested in that future in the terms of the live streaming, live service, and that free to play, and how that's changing in the game industry as well, and with mobile applications and such. So it's very interesting. One of the things that was really nice between you and I, Matt, and our team and such was really making that connection. And, you know, events play a role, obviously, in our conversations of being able to talk like you and I do, dev to dev. And it's really important to have those type of events. And I know you and I connected a little bit prior to GDC because of our relationship between Aerospike and Unity, but we were able to connect personally on that level and really start having candid conversations about how we can help each other in terms of communities and talking about the growth and the learning that goes with that. Can you give us a viewpoint and kind of your perspective of the Unity developer community? How big is that? Where's that at? And what does it look like?
As I said a little bit earlier, the Unity developer community is pretty large and again spans a wide range of developer types. So we obviously have students, indie developers, but we have mid-tier and AAA developers. We really try to engage with all of them as best we can, but I think a large focus that Unity has is sort of on the what we call the long tail. So we like to engage with our users as early as possible. So that's why you see a lot of Unity stuff with students or colleges and things like that. And I have other developer advocates in my group who specifically go to university. I've spoken at a couple of universities, and again, it's a thing of we want to show the value and the power of Unity. Unity believes that with more creators, it makes the world a better place. So we want to provide you the tools to create whatever that is. And so we really just try to engage. And it's not even so much about trying to like sell Unity. It's just trying to show that, look, this is a tool that can let you do whatever you want. If you want to make a fun little project just for your own, just for fun, or if you want to make a couple indie games, or if you want to make something into a business, we want to sort of give you that. And it's my job to help figure out what's the best way to give that information to somebody who needs it and to engage with our developers.
Yeah, I think having that connection with the college and like the student community is so crucial to building and developing developer communities for companies like Aerospike and Unity, because you can leverage that newness of your product and of your offerings for those developers and those tools and resources, and you can provide them opportunities to learn that. It creates this, unified and wonderful energy, if you will, in with those student communities because they feel like they can own it, right? And part of that is also providing them and giving them the right tools and the resources. I know with Aerospike and our developer relations team, we are definitely focused on making sure that that happens. We're building a new Discord community that we just started. We'd like to be able to have frank discussions with the developers. And I think we share in philosophy in terms of how we approach everything too between Unity and Aerospike, which is really nice because that's allowed us to have some really good candid conversations about how we can help each other. I think the future and making those connections, the combined goals and being able to see that there's other ways to reach the developers too. And you and I had talked about some of those live stream, not only for the game developers, but also opportunities to connect with developers and YouTube videos and such. And I know you've done a lot of that. What other avenues do you think are really powerful for developers to connect with developers besides maybe an event or YouTube? What are you finding successful with Unity?
One thing we're finding really successful, and it's kind of old-fashioned, I know we talk about events, but the more sort of personal interactions you can have, the better. Like a lot of times Unity will do meetups, our offices in different locations all over the world. And even if it's not necessarily a huge group of people, it may not be one of the main events. A small group of people, it helps to just sort of be able to talk one-on-one with the person or with a small group and just sort of get the sense of what their interest is. I think that's the biggest thing with the community is when they feel like they're heard. And again, it's not always the same thing they want to be heard about, but when they're heard about, I want to try to do this, or I want to try to do that, that really helps them engage and feel like they're part of the community. And then it gets them sort of like wrapped up into it. We've also found that providing the tools for sort of our own community to make their own content is also huge. Like I cannot be in every place at once that a developer is at, and I can't like create content for all of them, but we found that Unity's community is especially strong at sort of generating their own content. And by us sort of seeing what they're doing, providing support, and also kind of leveraging what they're doing, that's also been really successful. I don't think there's one perfect solution for engaging with a community. I think it's really just sort of trying different things and seeing what gets the most traction with it. Like even some things that we feel like, oh, there was only 5 people there. But if that one person ends up making like going down the line and making like a AAA studio that employs hundreds of people and they use Unity, that's a longer term success, but that's still a success. So I think it's really that's sort of where Unity, and specifically me as a developer advocate, has been, is just trying to do as much as I can and just try different things. But the more personal I can make it, the more stronger the connection I feel.
And so with that, really, you're building like ambassadors or champions of your community, because you're empowering them to be able to kind of share their use cases and their development stories, if you will. I think that's a really powerful tool when it comes to sharing from dev to dev in the community as well. I appreciate that we're aligned with that philosophy as well. One thing that I wanted to share with the Summit audience as well is it's really important for us as a developer relations team to let it be known, like we have here with Matt and Unity, is that we're really about connecting with the companies and providing, whether it be a lunch and learn about Aerospike. I mean, you heard Tim, my other partner in crime, if you will, on the DevRel team, and Art as well. He was speaking about the art of the possible in what is Aerospike and what it's about. That type of interaction and that type of communication with your developer community and being able to come in and share that with you and share it with our customers and our partners is really important. It's not only important for us, it's important for them and for you as well. And just like it is for Unity, to teach them about Aerospike. Because in the developer relations world, as Matt knows, it's all about building awareness and continuing engagement with the developers. And I feel like we're having some success with that already. So it's really nice to see. I just wanted to see if there were any last words, Matt. I just want to thank you very much for sharing your knowledge today and being able to talk candidly about everything. And the live version of this, it's kind of wild sometimes, I know. So Matt D from Stacy K, I really do appreciate what you've done so far for us. And I really appreciate this relationship moving forward. And I'm looking forward to the partnership.
Thank you so much for having me with this. For everybody watching, like I said, for both the Aerospike and the Unity Developer Advocates team, the more you can reach out and tell us what you're interested in or engage with stuff, like the more ideas, the more we can create content that will be useful to you. I don't necessarily know everything that Aerospike developer would want, and I don't necessarily know what everything that Unity developer would want. So the more you can sort of tell us, like tell Stacy and me, like, hey, we want this or we want to see this, that will be very beneficial, not only for us to make our job easier, but also to make sure that things like this summit, are as valuable as possible to you and everybody.
You had shared the slide with us. Did you want to talk a little bit about this and share it with the summit?
As I mentioned about sort of live games and real-time data sort of stuff and monetization, I just want to throw up a quick things here for Unity Ads. Obviously, for any of you who's not familiar, Unity Ads is a great entryway to sort of learning about monetization for mobile games. It's a great just sort of entryway to see if you're interested in it. Another thing here is Unity Analytics. So this is from Unity Gaming Services. Even if you have zero interest in monetization, you should get analytics in your game. Analytics is huge. Like I said, being able to track what your players are doing, when the game is out, when there's a bug or things like that, it's a huge deal. And Unity Analytics is built specifically for anyone from a novice who has no idea what DAO, MAU, and WOW mean, all the way to somebody who is an SQL wizard and can do all the crazy formulas with that. Again, I highly encourage you, if you're interested in any of this, if you're interested in any type of live game, I suggest analytics. If you're interested in monetization analytics, again, Unity Ads, Unity Analytics are a great starting point for that.
Awesome. Thank you. And with Aerospike, as I talked about, we've started our Discord community. We just launched it in the past couple of weeks. We're already seeing people jump on board. We're really excited about it. Looking forward to having really candid, frequent discussions with everybody there. And it's totally casual and a little bit more informal. So I think the developer community will appreciate that. And everybody will always share a coffee joke of the day. At least I try to sometimes. We'll see. And then we have our Aerospike Developer Hub, which we invite you to engage with us as well. And we're constantly making revisions to that hub. You're going to see some things happening over the next few months, providing more tools, providing visibility to all of our events and where we're going to be. I know half of our team is at SIGMOD today, so we're all over the place, and we plan on connecting with as many developers as we can this year. So really appreciate this opportunity. I want to thank Matt so much and Unity Technologies for this partnership as well. And with that, I'm signing off. Anything else, Matt?
No, just once again, thank you again for having me, Stacy, for letting me talk about Unity stuff and the great partnership between Aerospike and Unity. If anyone is interested in Unity stuff, feel free to hit me up on LinkedIn or Twitter. I have a goofy last name, so it's easy to find. Yeah.
Or you call them Matt D and Stacy K. There we go. Because he's what we do with live events, right? So thank you, everybody. Really, really appreciate it.